A very good morning from the northbound regional train that's on its way into Bolzano or Bozen, which is in the southern or Südtirol. Now, although this is northern Italy, this part of the country is mostly German speaking, so I'm going to be sticking to German place names for this video. As we arrive into Bozen on this lovely Wednesday morning, most of my fellow travellers are heading out to work, but I'm going to be walking just a short distance to find a cable car. You see, just up here beyond the bus station is the cable car that will take me up to Bozen, and then we can ride the Rittnerbahn. I've just got to beep on the machine here as I've got a one-day Südtirol mobile card, and that will cover all my trips today, including the cable car. This modern terminal has step-free access, but I'll go up the stairs myself. And here we are at the gondola. But wait, where are we? Let's have a look at the map. Throughout the day, a gondola departs each station every 4 minutes for this 12-minute trip up onto the Ritten Plateau high above Bozen. And it's there that we'll be able to catch our train. It's 10 to 9 in the morning and there's 4 people, including me, in this gondola. I think it's been a good idea to get up early to beat the crowds of tourists. And it does not take long before the valley floor has dropped away below us. As we begin our climb, here's a bit more on the cable car. It runs every day between 6:30 a.m. and 10:45 p.m. Now, the cable car was installed in the 1960s to replace the original Rittnerbahn cog railway that had been making this climb since 1907. Mind you, I don't think any of the cable car equipment that we see today will actually date back to the 1960s. The cables themselves are just over 4.5 kilometres long, and they will lift us up 950 metres, with the cabin moving along at about 25 kilometres per hour. That was great, and now our little cabin is pottering around ready to go back down again. There's already a train in the station, but as we'll see, they're going to need to back that one out to make way for an incoming service. The waiting shelter features a map, the upcoming departures, a ticket machine, and of course my validator. So I beep in, as you must validate at the start of each journey. Anyway, there's 20 minutes before the train departs, so let's have a little wander about. And good morning from beside the Rittnerbahn. And I suppose if anybody wanted to know, why do you make videos, Johnny? And it's actually to come up here on a Wednesday morning on a beautiful day like today. That lovely ride on the cable car. In fact, the ride in from Trento was lovely as well. But I've done that before on the channel. And anyway, this is about going up in the mountains. So we've ridden on the cable car and now we're here to have a little ride on the Rittnerbahn, and it's actually quite fun because I've also noted in the guidebook for it that you should be able to walk between stations, so I should get a little bit of a walk as well. I'm using a Südtirol mobile card, which means all the trains and buses and, well, this railway in fact, all in the area, and the cable car are all covered by it. Now it's just 20 euros for a day, which I don't think is too bad, but in fact 3 days would be 30 euros, so big saving if you're here for any longer, and there's certainly lots and lots you can do with that card. But today I'm on the Rittnerbahn. I've seen it written in different ways. How's written? Don't know. Anyway, stop mucking about, let's get the 936. We'll do the whole route to start off with, and then, you know, muck about. Oh, and I haven't had second breakfast yet. Had breakfast in Trento, but I need second breakfast. All the walking routes are numbered and clearly marked, and there's also a number of maps to help you along too. Here's that incoming service, but this unit is now going out of service, and we're going to have to wait for the other one to come back into the station. But that doesn't take too long, and soon we're all jumping aboard. Again, I'm pleased I'm well ahead of the crowds. I'm going to take this bench right at the front. Opening windows and a forward view behind the driver's cab. So here's the map of our first leg along the Ritten Plateau to Klobenstein, which will take us past 7 intermediate stations. Now there should be some good views as we go along the route, which is just 5.5 kilometres or 3.4 miles long, and the ride will take us just 16 minutes. And we're off along the Rittnerbahn with a great forward view of the driver's controls and the track ahead. And on the subject of track, this is a meter gauge line electrified overhead at 750 volts DC. The line was opened in 1907 to bring people up from the valley to this popular place. Initially there was the rack railway up to the top, and then this adhesion section that runs along the plateau. And as there was no road up here at the time, the railway was critical to both locals, businesses and tourists alike. We are riding on Unit 24, which dates from 1977 when it was originally built for the Rittnerbahn in St. Gallen in Switzerland. Both units we've seen today, that's 21 and 24, have been working this line since 2009, and there's also another unit, number 23. The railway also keeps 2 older 2-axle trains and another 4-axle one. Now these can be used when required or on heritage days. Liechtenstein marks the roughly halfway passing point, although the current frequency on the line this morning means there's nothing coming the other way yet. So let's just sit back and enjoy this final section before we reach the terminus at Klobenstein. The station cafe looks to be a perfect place to stop, so let's just wave goodbye to unit number 24 and then get something to eat and drink. Well, that's a fun little ride, so here we are at the other end of the line, so I think it's time for a coffee, maybe a croissant or something, and then I reckon there's a path from here where you can kind of swing along and then, you know, do a ride out, walk back kind of thing. So let's do that and then press on. Right, first things first, let's wave this goodbye at 10:06 and then get ourselves a coffee. And off it goes. 2 minutes late actually, because they were waiting for some latecomers to board. And now I've got myself a coffee and also one of the nicest slices of strudel that I've ever had. Lovely. Outside, the 166 bus will take hikers further up onto the mountain, especially those who wish to reach the summit at Rittnerbahn. But I'm going to start off walking Route 35, the Freud Promenade. Oh, here's a signpost. Well, there's certainly some beautiful houses along here. Well, that's good. I worried for a minute there I'd be walking on the road all the way. So I reckon if I stay on 35, I'm going to be further up from the railway itself. So I plan on going a little way along 35, then down 15A to pick up 15 which runs, as you can see, much closer to the railway, so we should get a few train shots. I decided that at this junction it was time to head down and look for the railway. And these houses sure come with a view. Can you see? There's the railway line just there. I was wondering if these tiny stations had the validation points, and they do, look. And a train comes along and stops, thinking that I might be a passenger. Right, I think it's time for another snack, since this station has a fantastic view. And then we'll press on. And as it's a little later in the day now, it looks like they have 2 units working the line. And I found it, my dodgy dead reckoning. Thought maybe we'll cross number 15 if we come down here. And here's 15, so let's go. Well, this is definitely a bit more rural than Mr. Freud's path, isn't it? And I certainly remember that massive structure from the train ride. I have to say, one of the good things about travelling on trains is seeing all the countryside, but the bad thing, of course, is you rarely get off and actually experience it as you whiz through. So this is really pleasant. There should be another train coming soon, so let's hang around here and get that low shot as it trundles past. Right, I think that low shot worked, so let's crack on then. Ah, this is where 15A would have come down, so I just came down a bit sooner. Well, this is a very, very pleasant walk. So what I reckon is, rather than do the full 50-minute walk to Bozen, we'll actually go to Volksgruben, which is a 20-minute walk from here, and then pick up the train from there, so we get another train ride in as well. And that's the way. So, Liechtenstein, not Liechtenstein, which I misread the other day. This almost looks like an old ticket office or something. And look, 2 validators. Does it really get that busy? See, I would have expected all the catenary poles to be like this grey steel one here. But no, if we go along a bit further and have a good look at this one, as you can see, it's a telegraph pole in a steel mounting, as indeed they all are. And I guess when they wear out, eventually you just pop a new one in the mountings. So I can see the sense of it. Well, it rained quite heavily last night. Well, it rained quite heavily most of the day and last night. So as you can see under the trees, it's still pretty wet here. So even here they use the archaic steam engine picture to denote a train. I'm surprised. I thought there would be a little icon with a pantograph of a little train up, you know. I've seen lots of those around. Ah, there's the Volksgruben station, and that lady's making her way up the hill to it. I think I'll stay on number 15 and carry on walking. I don't fancy going all the way up there. Now I'm down here. Besides, 15 is a rather nice route. Yep, this route sure gets the views. Okay, let's press on. 30 minutes to get back to the terminus. As my granddaughter would say, oh wow! Incidentally, that terminus where the cable car comes up isn't actually the terminus of the railway itself. Every now and again, a train will continue on to the actual terminus of the railway. So I'm going to check the timetable. There's a 13:28 train that actually goes to that terminus and back. So let's do that. Not the most exciting part of the walk, but I suppose walking along here gives you a little look at Bozen. See, that's the little icon I would have expected at the crossings. Look at all the people. I'm pleased I got one of the early cable cars up here. So here we are, back at the cable car station. And still got an hour before my train will go down to the actual terminus. So I'm tempted to walk to the terminus and then get the train back. I don't really think it needed the spooky golden guy on the balcony to make it look any more like the Addams family house. By the way, this is also the start of the path if you want to walk all the way back down to Bozen. As I'm walking, it's so pristine, it's so well kept, it reminds me of Switzerland. And then I think to myself, well, it's got something in common with Switzerland, hasn't it? Money. Right, so the Bahnhof is just down here. It should be a Bahnhof with a cracking view. There's even what I would call a locomotive shed here, as this is the terminus of the cog railway that used to run all the way down to Bozen. Then I'm guessing maybe that shed was there for the cog railway engine that is featured in this little picture down here. And here's the route of this final bit of trackway that completes our circuit. And it's also worth noting that Open Railway Map still shows us the path of the old abandoned rack railway. So here we are, Maria Himmelfahrt station, no tittering, and the end of the line. So I'm just waiting for this train to come and take me back to the cable car. But isn't this just the most wonderful little station? Stick around because, of course, I've still got to go down on the cable car. But anyway, as I stand here, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all your comments and all your interaction over the last few years. It's been great, and I look forward to seeing you on another video. So, from here, up on a mountain, it's goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. But of course it isn't quite goodbye, as we've still got a short little ride to do. And here comes Unit 24 to take us back to Bozen and the cable car. Oops, I nearly forgot to validate. You know, I cannot recommend this railway, the cable car, or the region as a whole highly enough. It has been a lovely trip, and I'm sure you would enjoy it too. And that's it, Unit 24 carries on its way and I return to the valley floor in the cable car. Do let me know if you've also had some great trips in this area, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more trips just like this. And if you particularly like this kind of thing, then you can also sign up to be a channel member. And for that you will get early release of videos, photos from my travels as they happen, and also short taster videos. And thank you to all of you who have already signed up to be members. And once again, thank you all so much for watching.